Hello everybody, some random Lenovo related news today. I saw this video.
Android, and it's certainly not
it's about the
running
𝗖𝗎𝗓 phone.
iOS.
As you can see, this guy is very enthusiastic about the 𝗖𝗎𝗓 phone.
It's 𝗖𝗎𝗓 phone, and it's running 𝗖𝗎𝗡𝗟, which is a Linux distribution. 𝗖𝗎𝗓 has a support layer called Android App Support that you
so you can run Android apps on 𝗖𝗎𝗓𝗡𝗟. It's based on Linux, and here I think is the central part.
The core focus of all 𝗖𝗎𝗓 phones is privacy. This phone
core part is privacy. It has a physical privacy switch.
You can control to do any number of things, like turn off all the cameras and microphones.
And as he wrote here, this Linux phone is ultra secure. But as always, we have GrapheneOS jumping in here. 𝗖𝗎𝗡𝗟 has very poor privacy and atrocious security. The portions of the OS that make themselves are largely closed source. It's a massive regression from the privacy and especially security of the Android open source project, even without the major GrapheneOS improvements. It's strange to see it marketed based on using open source code as the foundation for building it when they don't open source a huge portion of their own code. Android open source project is a complete OS that is open source. 𝗖𝗎𝗡𝗟 user interface and application layer is largely closed source. Yeah, as always, GrapheneOS pooping on the 𝗖𝗎𝗓 phone. But this was some great news here about Motorola. So Motorola announces a partnership with GrapheneOS Foundation, marking a new chapter in smartphone security and expanding its enterprise portfolio. That's great news. Motorola Lenovo company announced the addition of new consumer and enterprise solutions to its portfolio today at Mobile World Congress. The company unveiled a partnership with the GrapheneOS Foundation to bring cutting-edge security to everyday users across the globe. So that's great news to see. I hope this means that they will start to sell phones with the GrapheneOS pre-installed. That would be great news. And then related to Lenovo, and we have this article that Lenovo's new ThinkPad scored 10 out of 10 for repairability. And that was one reason why I bought my ThinkPads that I've had. It's also for the repairability. I really like that. And they have their own manuals for how to replace parts. So they really support people replacing parts. And things that I've done on my previous ThinkPads. On one ThinkPad I replaced the keyboard. I've also replaced this touchpad, and I also replaced the screen, and I've added more RAM in one. Yeah, I think they're really good for repairability. And in this article, they go through different things that you can replace here. The only bad part with this article is this full disclosure. iFixit has an ongoing business relationship with Lenovo, and we are hopelessly biased in favor of repairable products. So yeah, maybe you should take the grading with a grain of salt if they are being paid for this relationship. But I guess there is some truth to what they're writing, but yeah, maybe you should be a bit skeptical. And here you can see some computer parts of a disassembled Lenovo laptop. I remember this with the touchpad, that it was very difficult to replace that one actually, since you needed to open the back side of the laptop and then remove all parts to get to the back of this touchpad, and then you could remove it and then put in another one. So that was a bit tricky to replace, but it was possible, so that was great actually. And then we have some fun futuristic news here. Lenovo's Modular 2-screen ThinkBook is the futuristic laptop I'm rooting for. It's some demo or something they have showed here. It's just some concept for now.
Focus show, but Lenovo always brings some laptops and interesting concepts, and we checked out quite a few this time around. Which one was your favorite?
I like the ThinkBook modular laptop concept.
The ThinkBook, so it has two screens.
I felt worked pretty well.
Seen ASUS's Duo device with the two
screens. You can see using two screens. It's a bit cool. We can go down and look at some pictures. Here it looks like a regular laptop. And here if you just want to have it for reading or watching something. The second screen, keyboard. And here you can see it with both screens. And here you can see with the second screen connected. Another way to have your second screen if you want to have it vertical instead. And this concept here is something they have taken from Framework. This concept device has one more trick that delivers on the modular name, swappable ports, much in the style of Framework's removable expansion cards. This ThinkBook concept features empty port base and small tiles to plug into them, as you can see here. So you can plug in different ports depending on what you want to have. And here they have an example of two different ports. It looks like HDMI and a USB. I think this looks great. It's interesting to see some competition to Framework, and that other manufacturers are adopting the same style of features that the Framework has.